Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast where we have real conversations. Now, I wanted to focus on a topic that comes up a lot, and I know that you will be able to relate to it. And it's the stories around rest. Think about this scenario where your body is telling you it needs rest. You're tired, maybe there's aches and pains in your body, maybe you're waking up tired, maybe you have a lot of stress going on, and your body is telling you that it needs rest. But we ignore it, and we ignore it for a few different reasons. Now, the biggest reason we ignore it is the stories around rest and the conditioning that we have around rest. So we live in a world where it's not acknowledged that our bodies run in cycles like nature. We have this expectation that we are supposed to go at the same rate every single day, and that our bodies should operate like robots. And we treat our bodies in this way. And this is what is leading us to missing the cues of what our body's saying. We ignore it and we carry on. Maybe we'll have an extra coffee and we ignore the signals of our body. And this is where it builds up and builds up and builds up. And I can completely relate to this. So with experiencing adrenal fatigue and burnout, I got to the point where I could not ignore the tiredness. I could not ignore carrying my body around. I could not ignore the pain that I was in with the fibro. But I let it get to that point. And for me, it goes deeper. Why am I not listening to my body and resting when I need to? And that's because I feel like I need to be doing all the time. Why do I feel like I need to be doing all the time? That goes deeper, and I say, well, why is that? And it's like, because this growing up and this story that I created of to be worthy in this world, then I must do, then I must, to be worthy of taking up space in this world, then I need to be useful. So that programming from a early age, that storytelling in my subconscious mind, reinforced this doing and doing and doing and doing to the point of burnout. For others, it might be that they, growing up, watched a caregiver who found it very hard to sit still based on their programming. So that's the programming that you learn, that it's not safe to sit still. That's not what you do. It could be that it's society's expectations of this world, that we use the word busyness as a way to make us feel worthy. That if that person's doing, then I must be doing. And it makes me feel important. And we're doing things to make ourselves feel good enough. Comparing ourselves to others. Always achieving. It could also be that we are doing and ignoring the signals of our body because we're trying to buffer and push something down. Maybe there's some emotions that are needing to come up to the surface. But if we've never developed the skills to be with our emotions and learn how to process our emotions, then it feels far too uncomfortable to sit with our feelings and emotions. So we buffer, we push it down. And we can do that with the overdoing. If we keep ourselves really busy, then we don't have to deal with those emotions. Now, it was last week And there's a lot of stress going on for me at the moment, and the fatigue is really flaring up. And my body was speaking to me, rest, 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 rest. Now, my past self would have just fought this and carried on. But this embodied self of me now, although sometimes I can find it challenging to rest when I feel like single mum life, there's a lot to do. And I don't want to get stuck into that pattern of overdoing and doing and doing. My body is telling me to rest. And if I don't rest, then I'm going to feel the same tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So what this journey of burnout has done has taught me to listen to the cues of my body. And I'm not saying that it's always as simple as, okay, I'm tired, I need to rest now. But it's first of all acknowledging where your body's at. Okay, have I got unrealistic expectations of today? So say you wake up tired. Your body is calling out for rest. You've got a full day planned. If you look at that day, what tasks or things on my to-do list can wait? What do I really need to prioritize? What really does need to get done today? How can I speak on how I'm feeling to someone else that maybe you can't make that catch up or have that phone call or do that particular task on that day? And speaking up and communicating. How can I, if you have kids, to say, kids, communicate, I'm having a tired day, I'm needing to not do as much, I'm tired, I'm trying to listen to my body. Again, you're communicating, you're managing their expectations. Well, this is what I do, but you're also teaching them to speak on this and teaching them to listen to the cues of your body. Okay, I had a big workout planned. Maybe I'll go for a walk instead. And the more and more that you do this, the more and more that you honor your body and listen to the cues of your body, the better relationship you get with your body, and you're able to shift or give your body what it needs and your body to feel nurtured. Now, it's just acknowledging that it's the stories around rest. Have a look at your stories around rest. So if I said to you right now, go and put your feet up, what would happen if you went and put your feet up? Would you put your feet up, have a lie down, and your mind racing? Would you be twitchy? Would you be thinking about all the things that you need to do? Would you feel guilty? What stories would be going on in your head? Or would you find that very easy? Notice, because if you've got all that programming in your mind that tells you that rest is a weakness, that you must be doing all the time, that you're not good enough if you just rest, you're not productive, you're not making the most of the time that you've got, all of these things, you're running out of time. If you're feeding that all the time, notice those stories, because those stories are what's stopping you from tuning into your body and acknowledging that those stories are in your subconscious mind. They're in your subconscious mind and they're your programming. But once you bring awareness to them and you actually practice the embodiment of rest, to say, I'm going to lie down for 10 minutes. My mind is going to go crazy. That's fine. It's going to talk me out of it because it doesn't feel safe to do this. My safety is in doing. But I'm going to lie here and I'm going to honor that. Maybe I do it with some relaxing music to help ease me into it. Maybe I'm going to lie down and have a phone call with someone. So I am lying down, but I'm leaning into this rest in a different way. And I think it's really important to point out, this is such a big topic really to talk about, but I think it's really important to point out that rest is different for everybody. For someone, it might be going for a really beautiful, gentle walk in nature. For someone else, it may be having a yummy bath. For someone, it might be lighting a candle and meditating. Everyone is different with what rest means to them. But it's creating that space to tune in and listen to what your body needs. Do I need to lie down? Do I need to walk? Do I need to have a conversation with someone and share something that I'm experiencing? What is that for you? And the twitches or the uncomfortableness of you resting or taking time out is just because of the stories around rest. Stories from your caregivers, the stories from society. Tune into those stories, because those stories are the juicy parts that help you unlock from this, because everyone needs rest. You're not a robot. And if you talk to that achiever part of your mind that says, we've not got time to rest, we've not got time for this, if you actually talk to that part of your mind to say, actually, me resting and taking time out is actually productive, because then I'm more efficient in my life. I'm able to digest food better. My brain is working more efficiently. I feel calmer and grounded. So this is my invite, and this is why I wanted to come on today, to invite you in to listen to those stories, because it's those stories that are telling you that you can't rest. Is there a rest police that is going to come along and say you're having too much rest? Why do we feel guilty in telling people that we're going to have a rest? Why don't we prioritize having a rest? We don't do that because of the stories around rest. So, how can you lean in? And I always say lean in, because it's guiding your subconscious into safety. That when we make changes in our externals, we have to lean in and nurture our subconscious and show our subconscious that it's safe. There is always going to be something to do on your to-do list. Always. You will fill in gaps. If there's a gap, you'll fill it in. When you start to learn to prioritize and listen and tune in to what your body needs, then you are going to break from that cycle of that feeling overwhelmed and burnout, and you carry on through until you collapse. And then you pick yourself back up, and then you go back out there and you overdo it, and then you collapse. You want to shut the world out. You become dissociated. I'd love to know if this resonates with you. Leave something in the comments. Reach out to me. I know how it feels to feel exhausted, and I'm experiencing a flare up in my adrenal fatigue at the moment, and I have to accept and meet my body where it is and remind myself I am not a robot. I hope this helps, my love.